Well, hey everybody, it's Chuck. Welcome back to the Bee Lab. So it is the middle of November here, and I'm really kind of finishing my chores. I've already done my extraction for the fall. I got about 35 gallons of fall honey off of my hives, and most of them came out of these deeps here that essentially were the tops of demarays or the double deeps that had pure honey in them above an excluder. I'm done with all that. So this is not about extracting honey. But many of us, after you go about more than 5 years, your combs start to get old. And you know, in the cool fall air, it kind of gets hard to clean them, and typically most of us go to throwing them away. I don't throw them away. I try to find new and novel ways of cleaning foundation and or foundationless frames, especially when I'm kind of in this phase of not really beekeeping so much, but kind of taking care of my bee equipment. I got an idea. I think I saw an idea somewhere, and I'm kind of taking it to the next level of how I am going to try to do this, and I'm going to show you. It definitely works, but whether or not it's worth your time or not is something for you to decide. This is about using steam on what you probably already have with your cooker. So down here, I've got my cooker. It's just a big pot on top of a gas thing, and I'm boiling water. That's all I'm doing, but I'm making steam, right? So as I take the lid off of this, so I essentially got a steam bucket. I took an old bottom board. You could make this. This is nothing more than a bottom board, but do you see how I had to kind of shave the edges of this? That's how it's customized, so that it goes around my bucket. But essentially all I'm doing is I'm putting this bottom board on top of my handle. So now let me show you what I've got here right now. Essentially, it's just a frame on top of my bucket. And what I'm going to be doing is taking a box and setting it on top with a lid, and I'm going to be steaming my frames. Steaming them just for a few minutes to soften up that wax, to soften up that stuff, just so scraping gets a lot more off of there. And also you could take a wire brush to kind of get into those kind of indents and dimples inside of the foundation. Maybe it's not for you, but I'm gonna just kind of take you through it a little bit, show you my apparatus, and let you kind of feel a little bit how it works. So let me get some foundation, put you back up on the tripod, and let me show you what I got. Stick with me. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. I've just got an empty box here, but when you get frames like this, that are just kind of, it's got this dark, thick wax, and you know, you can tell it's got a lot of cocoons in it. That is essentially why these combs get really, really waxed. It's just layers and layers and layers of cocoons. This one is on a plastic solid, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up. I like to kind of reuse those as much as I can. When you come through your older frames, you know, obviously looking at the color of your frames kind of is an indicator of how old it is, but can you see how dark and black that foundation is down here? Now this is a foundationless, and if I were to just kind of take it now and try to break it off, it's kind of chunky. And if I were to, here's a good example of the cocoons inside of there. These cocoons kind of give it more strength. It's not just wax. It needs to be recycled. These frames are still good. I've gone to a system in more, I'm gonna put this in here because I'm gonna steam that one too. You need a bucket for your wax, and my bucket's down there. But you know, here's a newer frame, and can you see that nice white wooden wax? But I've also started labeling my frames when I build them, not necessarily when I put them into service. When I build them, I put a color on it. That's a narrow indicator of how old the wood is. Just the same queen color system that we use. So blue queens, blue frames, you know, you get a 5-year cycle. You'll kind of about know how old your frames are. This one's fine. It's mashed a little bit up, but you know, nice white wax, a little bit of dark wax down on the bottom. There is some pollen in this one. That frame is just fine. Here's another example of a really old one, and it's just got this thick, dark wax on it that needs to, and on this side, you can see there's a mixture of brood, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean that one up too. Good example of something, and I'm separating them, kind of going through the good ones and the one, that one, because I put my, my box on there. This one is not horrible, but can you see how it's pollen bound? You see that pollen up in the top? If I store this and just put it outside, more than likely the hive beetles will get into that, or some sort of pest will get into that pollen. It's essentially a food source that does not make good for storage. So I either need to put this back into a hive if I want to keep this frame in service, or I'm going to go ahead and clean it and scrape off that pollen using the same technique here. I've got another video on how to kind of use a pressure washer to clean out pollen-bound frames, and that one's pretty good for frames that you don't want to destroy the cells on. Here's another example of a pretty good frame, but pretty heavily pollen-bound. Okay, so I've got some frames set up here. I'm going to kind of go through a lot more till I get a full deep. This is a pretty good one on an old frame. I think I did this one last year, so I'm not going to change that one out. Move these to the side. See if I can find some more. You know, your eyes kind of gravitate towards the old dark frames. And some of them just need new foundation. Here's a good example of a frame that doesn't have horrible wax. But on this side, can you see how shallow these cells are? This is because the foundation in here is warped. It was left out in the sun, or it was one of those cheaper brands that kind of bends a little bit and doesn't stay rigid. That is my biggest complaint about foundation. You gotta buy the thick stuff so it doesn't warp. And if it does warp, it does things like this, where they can't really work on one side, and then you get these super deep cells on the other side. So this is a candidate for replacing the foundation, and I'm gonna go ahead and scrape that wax and put it in my solar wax melter. What else I've got in here? This is actually an older frame that's pretty good. It's dark, but it's not like super gooey dark. Yeah, I've done a few of these in the years past, so the dark frames is not always the indicator of the ones that are the worst. Some good here. This is pollen bound too, and it's on a nice clean frame. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape that one up just as an example of that. Okay, I'm gonna keep going through these frames till I get one of these supers full, and then I'll take you down there and I'll show you putting it onto the steamer. Stick with me. All right, welcome back. I've got my full frame, my full box of dirty, nasty, need to be clean frames here in this full deep super. My boiling water is boiling. You know, you could put a screen or something over your pot if you didn't want wax bits and gook to drop in there and gunk up your pot, but this is a sugar water pot. I'll clean it out later. But this frame, if it's equally balanced, just sets right on top of there. Obviously, if you're doing this inside and you're worried about this tipping over or something, maybe be more careful. But for one box, this has worked just fine. And you can see the steam, maybe you can see it in the video, is already coming out the top. I'm just gonna kind of keep that steam in there for just a few minutes. Less than 5. 5 is probably fine. It depends on the volume of steam you've got coming out, maybe the atmospheric temperature out in the day and how much steam you're producing. But we're softening up that wax. It's not gonna melt it, it's gonna soften it. Stick with me for a second, we'll pull this off and I'll show you how it cleans up. All right, everybody, welcome back. Okay, so it's been about 4 or 5 minutes, maybe a little bit short. You can see the steam is coming out of here good. Be careful with steam. Steam is hot, so treat it like you're taking a pot of boiling rice or something off the pot. Of course, if you're like me, your glasses all steam up, which is part of it. Some of the tools you're gonna need: your scraper of choice, hive tool of choice, a wire brush for the foundation, a bucket where you want all your remnants to go, and you know, you can start taking them off as you need be. You know, you can leave the steam up here to keep them warm, but let's take one off the edge just for grins and see where we're starting. So here's a good example of what it looks like. Looks just like it did before, but much, much softer. So it just scrapes right off. You can see it's got some moisture in it. You can even see the white wax forming up there. Now this, wow, those cocoons are really gunked in there. This one, I'm probably gonna do a double layer on this one. I'm gonna soften that back up after I take the first layer out, because it's just mashing into those cells. Sometimes you can kind of get it going and get underneath the cocoons and they kind of roll up. These old plastic foundations behave a little bit different than the sheets of foundation versus the plastic frames, the solid ones. Just gonna kind of keep on going. This is one of those dirty jobs. You guys remember Mike Rowe? Dirty Jobs. Hey Mike, if you're watching, what do you think about a show about this? I know he's not making those anymore, and this isn't as dirty as many of those shows, but it's kind of nasty. All right, so I'm just kind of scraping into the bucket. I'm gonna show you what it looks like in just a second. Bees can already smell it. Okay, so this one's pretty much done, but I'm gonna show you, this one needs a double steam. Can you see how it kind of mashes in here sometimes when you got so much of that thick wax? That will come out, but I need to get it softer. So I'm putting this back in. Might even put the lid back on to keep the steam going right up, and we'll try a foundationless one. I'll show you how that's a little bit different. Now on these, this is just soft. I take my knife right up the top of my starter strip, and it just kind of cuts like soft butter almost. That's wax, but soft wax, I guess, is a better example. It's just much, much easier. You know, if you're gonna get your hands in here, if you got wires like this one does, it comes off the wires without bending the wires too much. Nice and soft, and that will clean up just fine. If you wanna leave a little bit of this wax on there, that's great. If you wanna scrape it off, that's up to you. Doesn't even need to be waxed. Now these wires can be straightened out, but that's what I'm talking about. Soft, easy, ready to go back into a box, be straightened up a little bit. Let's get one more. Okay, so this is the one that I showed you that had the foundation that was bending. Now, there probably are some tricks of straightening this out, but this is, yeah, look at it, it's so soft. It's just coming right up. But I'm gonna throw this foundation piece away and save the wax though. A thicker foundation doesn't bend like this. I don't know what brand this is. I'm not even gonna rat out any brands, but just know thickness of foundation matters. For that issue I'm talking about flexing inside, especially if you store your frames outside and they sometimes are in the sun, they'll warp. Having these soft, there's nothing easier than cleaning out the tracks of a bee frame when the wax is soft. Especially it even softens up the propolis and the other junk they get in there a little bit. You know, rosin, just like in the heat of the day, propolis will soften up. So this frame is ready to go for a new piece of foundation. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Just a quick video. Soften your wax up with a steamer on a pot you might already have. If you're the type of person that wants to try to reuse frames, clean up the old stuff, put in new. It's just a way of getting the wax off a little bit easier. You know, in certain situations, it's good to have brittle wax, you know, because it kind of breaks off in chunks. But, oh, actually, I did want to show you one more thing on a piece that I'm going to keep. So let me back up just a little bit. I'm going to keep that foundation in there. So here's one of those pollen-bound frames I was telling you about. This foundation is good, but I just want to get this wax off of here and show you how the wire brush can kind of also help when it's nice and soft. All right, so that foundation is generally cleaned up, but while it's still soft, you can take a wire brush like this and it will get those remnants off much, much easier than when it's hard. The cocoons and a wire brush almost just fray, but when it's soft, it's completely malleable. And of course, if you didn't have 1,000 frames to do, if you got 1,000 frames, you're not doing this anyway. This is that pollen-bound frame. You can see some nice wax left over that's been re-steamed in those holes. And this one is ready to go. A little bit of top of wax on the edge, maybe when I redo it, but that's it. All right, so I think that's the real ending. I did want to demonstrate the wire brush and how that works in addition to the scraper. So let me know what you think about this trick. Do any of you guys use this? Have you used it for a while? I know this isn't anything new. It kind of came to me. I've never seen a lot of people do it, mostly because most people don't clean their frames. As a sideliner or a hobbyist, you know, these are valuable resources. You know, a frame can be almost $3 a piece. You know, and all you need to do is swap out the foundation or clean up some of your foundationless or even clean your foundation up and bring it back to life. I would even argue I could clean this thin piece up. Nah, so you see the warping? That thin stuff is junk. Don't buy the thin stuff. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time. Hopefully you enjoy this content.